Yo, what's going on YouTube? I am Germ here, and this video might be a little bit different than usual. We're going to be talking about Paris still, of course, as always, but as you can tell, my setup is a little bit different. I actually just set up this new standing desk, so my mic's a little bit farther away from me. Let me know if it sounds okay or if it sounds too quiet, or if I need to make some changes. I might need to turn up the mic a little bit, but I think it's all the way up. I'm not sure, and I might need to like hold the mic or put it up to my face or whatever, but I think hopefully this still should sound pretty okay. I think I usually talk loud enough. You might have to turn this video up a little bit, but yes, today we're going to be talking about Paris. Obviously, over the past couple of days, we have learned that the Paris sale is still available in CS2, contrary to what a lot of people expected and what a lot of people thought and believed was going to be happening. And yesterday, when I made the video talking about where Paris prices were and how things were going, Paris prices had gone down since the news and since the I guess, addition of the Paris sale to CS2, but they had just gone down to back where they were previously. They hadn't actually crashed down. They hadn't gone down below where they were before, but now Paris prices have continued to fall. Now Paris prices are actually below where they were previously, and there's more and more people saying, hey, Paris is trash, Paris is crashing, I'm getting out of Paris, I'm selling, I knew this was garbage. You know, all the haters over on the sidelines laughing about how they were right about Paris and blah, 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 all this stuff, so much negativity going on. And I just want to talk about that today because some of it is justified, some of it is incorrect, and some of it, weirdly enough, is probably a good thing for Paris overall. But before we get into this, I just wanted to mention real quick my cash trading business. Of course, we've been talking about this a lot in videos because this has been such a big part of what I've been doing in the CS community lately. If you guys are looking to cash out any of your skins, stickers, knives, items in CS, anything like that, definitely hit me up. My Twitter is linked in the description below. Twitter DMs are the best way to reach out to me, but if there are other ways that you can find me or need to find me or whatever, that will definitely work as well. We can probably reach a deal, but it is the easiest, safest, and most effective way to turn your CS items into cash, crypto, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle balance, whatever you guys want. We can probably work out a deal, so hit me up. But with that being said, let's get right into this. So where the Paris market, or where the really CS market in general has gone over the past few days has been really, really crazy. This is the Esport Fire 300 graph. This tracks like 300 of the most popular items in CSGO, or 300 items that they have deemed, you know, a good enough sample size for the whole market to really track. It's kind of like an index fund or something like that, you know, where you just have a bunch of really good items, or what they use to kind of pick and choose from different places to map the overall health and strength of the market. And obviously you can see here things have fallen off a cliff over the past couple days, from September 27th to here. This is for a couple different reasons. One, the player base has not spiked with CS2 as much as people would have hoped or were thinking. Two, people have not been happy with the CS2 release, the lack of new content, and the buggy nature of the game right now. And three, as I was telling people before, it was a lot of people's idea and strategy to sell out once CS2 dropped, because people were expecting this big boom, so people were buying leading up to CS2. Their plan was to sell, and if everybody's plan is to sell, then prices are going to go down. That's what I've been trying to tell people. So obviously this graph looks very, very bad, but when you zoom out a little bit, you have to understand that this is probably not even as bad as it looks. If you still look at the all-time, this takes us back to November of 2022. The market is still massively up from where we were 8 or 9 months ago, and right now the market is only down to where we were in like July. You know, so this just means in the last 2 months the market is flat, and if you look to, you know, this point in July, the market's actually up in the last 2 months, and if you look back to here, the market is up since you know, like March. So in the last 6 months, the market is up. Yes, we saw this huge explosion in prices, and we've seen this retracement and kind of retrieval back to probably the line we should have been at in the first place, but it's really not all that bad. It's not like the market's crashing. The sky isn't falling. CS isn't dead. CS isn't done. So I just kind of wanted to contextualize that for you guys a little bit. We can also take a look at the Paris market and stuff real quick. If we scroll down to the bottom of Esport Fire, we can see here Paris, you know, looking like the same thing. It has crashed down. Paris is at all-time low. So while I said, you know, the overall health and strength of the greater CS market is probably a little bit, you know, understated, it's probably doing okay overall, and probably in a better place than it actually looks. Paris is actually at all-time lows. You know, you can zoom out all the way and see this is as low as Paris has ever gone. But that does not mean that every sticker is at all-time lows. There are plenty of stickers that are actually at not the lowest prices we've ever seen. But from where we were a couple days ago, a lot of stickers have dropped. You know, we have 3 stickers under $1 now, with Mongols being under $1. We have Forbes below $2. We have Into the Breach below $2. We have Heroic closing in on $2. Which is definitely crazy to see. We have, everything's been loading really slow recently too. I don't know if that's because there's a lot of people on the servers or whatever, but if we look at some different stickers, what they have done, you know, we can see the lifetime of Mongols. Some of these graphs look kind of bad just because you had those really crazy periods early on in the beginning. But, you know, Mongols has just kind of continued to go down recently. But again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. And if you are looking, if you were interested in buying Paris stickers a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago or whatever, you know, if you were buying Mongols at $1, now it's 20% off. Now we're at 80 cents. You know, this could just be a better opportunity to buy. So again, a lot of this stuff just isn't loading. Steam has been pretty trash over the past couple days with the CS2 release. Here we have Into the Breach. You know, previously this thing was down to like $1.57. Now it's at, where are we at today? We're at $1.91. So this is not the lowest prices we've ever seen for Into the Breach stickers. We have Heroic at around $2. I know I was saying this might be the lowest prices we've seen for Heroic. Yeah, Heroic has just kind of been continuing to tank and tank. But even back here, again, this is June 22nd. It was $1.98. So this is not all-time lows for Heroic either. You know, what we are seeing the most significant crash in, I think, is some of the cheaper stickers, and a lot of the autographs have been getting hit really hard. Obviously, holos are going down, but when the Paris market as a whole is at all-time lows, and a lot of these holos aren't at all-time lows, that shows you that a lot of the other items are really, really, really getting killed. But it's interesting because, again, people hated on Paris forever because they were saying that Paris sticker prices were overrated, overhyped, they were too expensive. And now we're literally seeing those prices come down, and those same people are saying, hey, see, I told you so, you guys, you idiots, these Paris stickers are trash, when really, shouldn't you just be seeing that as an amazing opportunity to buy the dip? Because if you were saying it was overpriced before, and that was the biggest issue, now if those prices are lower, this actually makes a great opportunity. And again, one of the things I've been saying about Paris is the ceiling on the potential gains you can get is kind of capped because the prices are so high, there's only so much returns you can get. But as these prices continue to fall and they continue to go down, that increases the potential and the amount of returns you could potentially get. Now, of course, I understand that with the Paris sale continuing to go on in CS2, that's going to make quantities and supplies increase, and that's definitely going to hurt your gains. But so many people are saying, oh, it's so bad that they added the Paris sale to CS2 because, hey, CS2 is going to bring this huge new boom of players, so this is going to be so many more people that's buying so much more Paris, but also at the same time, the market's crashing because we didn't see a big explosion in new players. So how is it being in CS2 bad because of all these new players, but also we don't have these new players, so the market's crashing? Like, it doesn't really make sense. And again, the Paris sale has been going on for so long. I think, for the most part, people who are going to buy Paris stuff have already bought it. Now, of course, the longer the sale goes on, more and more stuff is going to get bought, but is it really getting bought at the rates that it was, you know, 30, 60 days ago, anything like that? I don't know. I don't know really how much the Paris sale, you know, extending or being in CS2 is really that much of a negative thing. It's not a good thing. It's definitely a bad thing, but I think some people might be overstating it. And again, as prices crash, this should be better for investors. If you are continuing to buy, or if you're getting at these new, better, lower prices, that should be a good thing. Because again, these Paris stickers, this is not RMR 2.0. This is not RMR 3.0. These are still some of the best looking stickers of all time. These are still borderless stickers. These are still stickers that are going to have high demand. And I know people say, hey, the application rates are really low right now. Well, guess what? We're about to get some new content during CS2 at some point, whether it's a new operation, a new case, new skins, whatever. And those application rates are going to skyrocket. These stickers are going to be used in crafts. We just haven't had any new content in so long, but that stuff is coming. So I think a lot of people are overstating a lot of these different things. And again, if you are a Paris investor, if you've been on the fence about buying Paris, or if you believe in Paris, continuing to buy the dip and adding at these great prices is a great opportunity. We have Fluxo, you know, back here in June 22nd. This is the day the sale first started, is at 368. Now it is at 382. So not all-time lows for Fluxo either. Fnatic has definitely been taking a big hit recently. You know, Fnatic was all the way back at $7.50, close to $8 for a while, and now today it is down to $4. So it's almost been cut in half. We have the top four obviously getting hit pretty hard as well. You know, just a couple days ago, Apex was like $12, and now it's like $8. Again, if you were interested in Apex at $9, $10, $11, $12, you now have the opportunity to buy it at $8. That is actually an attractive price. These prices make way more sense than they did before. So again, it does suck to see these things going down. And I'm not saying, oh, the price is crashing is like an amazing thing, or it's like I'm super happy about it, or I'm thrilled or whatever. I would love if these things were just going to the moon. But again, I didn't invest in Paris, and I think most people didn't invest in Paris to have it skyrocketing on September 29th. You know, when I bought most of my Paris stuff a month or 2 months ago or whatever, I wasn't like, oh man, I hope this stuff is at insane prices on September 29th. No, I want this stuff to be at insane prices in January, February, March, or 2 years from now or whatever. I don't want it to be at insane prices like in the short term. The short term does not matter at all. The short term is where you buy, it's where you accumulate, and then in the medium to long term is where you see those gains. Now, obviously, we are on a little bit of a time crunch because, you know, holding through the Copenhagen announcement is going to be a big risk and a bit of a gamble. So ideally, I would like to get rid of most of my stuff before Copenhagen, and the longer the sale goes on, the closer and closer we get to that. But still, never was my investment thesis to sell out in September of 2023. So again, I would love to see these prices go up, but I'm not super worried about it at this point. And some of my favorite stickers are now cheaper than they've been in months. Some of your stickers, I'm sure, are cheaper than they've been in months. So it might be a good time to check it out. Like I said, there's a ton of doomers out there. There's a ton of people being pessimistic. There's a ton of people who have some very, very legitimate criticisms. But just because there are legitimate criticisms of Paris doesn't mean there aren't positives as well, and doesn't mean there's not arguments to be made that buying Paris right now or just holding on to your Paris stuff in general makes a lot of sense. I think the people who are panic selling right now, that's ridiculous. That makes no sense. And the people who continue to just shit on Paris and shit on Paris and shit on Paris, that's just because it's a popular thing to do right now. And really, weirdly enough, the more people sell out and the more people shit on Paris, that's going to make Paris a better investment. Because again, if Paris is overpriced, overinvested, overrated, and now people are starting to jump ship, and there's less people that believe in Paris, and there's less people investing in Paris, that's going to make it less overrated, less overhyped, less overinvested, less, lower prices. These are all good things for Paris. You just need to change how you're thinking about it. A lot of people just see, oh, prices are going down, that's bad, but there are some ways that this could actually be good. And I know maybe people could say I'm being delusional or I'm just being a Paris fanboy or whatever, but, we're going to see. We're going to find out. But that's pretty much everything video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.